Hi class, my name is Dr. Yates. This is a video just to introduce myself to you so you get to know me a little bit better, as I will get to know you a little bit better through the student survey quizzes. This is my third year as a teacher, and all three of them have been here at Westerville North. It's a wonderful place. I love it here. Hopefully you guys do too. Prior to that, I did my schooling. I did my undergraduate studies at Ohio State here, and then I went off to MIT in Boston to do my graduate work, my PhD work in experimental nuclear physics. So hopefully you can see that I have a strong love and interest in science, and hopefully I can pass that excitement along to you guys in our classes together this year. After I got my doctorate degree and started working, I worked in industry for a while, mainly doing IT for about 25 years. And while I enjoyed that a lot, near the end, something just wasn't right. I just wasn't getting the enjoyment out of it that I had at the beginning. And I slowly realized that the part that I liked the best was teaching. I liked helping people learn how to do their job. I liked helping people learn how to use the systems that they had in place. So when I realized that, I thought, well, if I want to get out of IT, what do I want to do? I thought, well, I could be a teacher, which then seemed like a no-brainer because I've always loved working with young people, working with students. I always enjoyed working with my kids as they were going through school, and often went into their classrooms to help share my love of physics and chemistry with them, as well as work with my kids in all sorts of different ways. So it seemed like a perfect transition. I'd be a teacher here. And I've totally enjoyed my 3 years here at North, and looking forward to working with you guys in this unusual year this year since we're being all remote. There'll be a little bit learning on both of our sides as we get through here, but we're going to make it happen, and we hopefully will have some fun in the process. Looking forward to working with you guys this year. Hi, everyone. This is just a quick video to talk about what our syllabus is and how we're going to use Schoology and what our schedule is going to look like. So when you click into Schoology and you go into your physics class, you'll see a folder at the top that'll say the Welcome to Physics Start Here folder. And that's where I want to start with this discussion today. You see we're in the Welcome to Physics Start Here folder. Please ignore this Friday one yet. I'll come back and talk with that because you won't be able to see that until tomorrow. So when we look at the top here, the first thing you're going to see is an introduction video. And that's what we're talking about here. Below that introduction video, there is a discussion. And here is what I want you to tell me. What is it when you think about physics? What comes to mind first? Tell me in words. Give me a pic or an image. Give me a meme. Give me a GIF. Give me a movie. Give me something that makes what comes to mind when you first think about physics. Just looking to get our discussion going and get some positive energy going here for us today. When you're done, then just click post. If you do have something you want to upload, if you look at the bottom of your posting, when you click in the post window, this will show up in the bottom, the far left one says file, and that will allow you to upload a pic or a GIF or a movie or whatever that you want to put into here. All right. Below that is our student survey. And the student survey is a way for me to get to know you a little bit better. So we can start the year and I have some ideas better how to work with you guys. What I want you to do here, when you open that quiz up, there will be only one question, and that question will have a link. It'll be highlighted in blue. I want you to click that link. That'll take you to the student survey and allow me, when you take the Google form survey, it'll store the answers for me. And then again, that's how I'm going to see what your answers are and how I can use that to help make the class a little bit better. When you are done with that, once you have submitted that survey, I need you to come here and answer this question at the bottom. It says, have you completed the student survey? It'll give you two options. It'll give you a true or false option. I'm sorry, yes or no option. And I want you to click yes. And by doing this, it will automatically put a grade into the grade book and give you 5 points just for doing that for me. So I appreciate it if you guys would take some time to do that. Beneath the student survey, if we go back to our folder, is here where we're going to talk about our syllabus. All right. And then below our syllabus, we have our weekly schedule, our daily bell schedule, my schedule, and then some Schoology help here. So we'll talk about these now in turn. So when you go into our syllabus, our syllabus will show us, here's what our welcome to chemistry, welcome to physics. I also teach chemistry. Give you the lists of our units that we're going to talk about. So we're going to talk about a little bit of what's physics. We'll do motion in 1 dimension, motion in 2 dimensions. Makes it a little bit harder, but you guys should be able to do this without too much trouble. And then we'll talk about forces, momentum, and energy. Rotational motion, kind of an interesting one, helps you think a little bit out of the box. And we'll talk a little bit about electricity, magnetism, and hopefully we'll get on to waves, optics, and solar energy. So let's talk about the next part of our syllabus, and that's going to be our weekly schedule. So we've created a weekly schedule. I'll talk more about that shortly, that we're going to follow as often as possible. So we want to do that same sort of weekly cadence, if you will. Mondays and Tuesdays we'll do this, Wednesdays we'll do this. Again, I'll explain that a little bit more. The big reason we want to do that is to make it consistent, so it's easier for you guys to follow along and easier for me to plan. Now, one thing I do want to say about this weekly schedule, it is expected that students will complete all the week's work by Friday night. The idea here is sometimes I'm going to be asking questions during the week. I need to know what you're doing, for example, in our lecture questions, to help me focus on what do I need to talk about on Wednesday and Thursday with you. So I need you to try to keep pace with this as best as you can. And again, so I can give you prompt feedback and also to keep you from falling behind. It's hard enough to catch up when we're in class doing coursework together. It's really hard to catch up when you're not in class, when we're doing this remote stuff and you fall behind. So with that said, I understand there's going to be times where they won't be able to happen. You won't be able to get things in when I would really like them to. And if something does happen like that, please communicate with me beforehand. Say, hey, Dr. Yates, I've got to work on Friday. I've got to work on Tuesday, Thursday. I'm not going to be able to get these done quite when I'd like to. We'll see. We'll work together to find out a way to accommodate your schedule and try to get things going, as well as keep you caught up with class. Participation points. So participation points, this is something that I would not have done if we were in class together. But because we can interact with each other. You can raise your hand, ask questions. I can answer questions. I can walk around the room and see what you're doing. But with the virtual classroom, we can't really do that. So we came up with the idea of participation points. This is just a way to help you get points for doing interaction with me, help me to understand where you are, and give you a chance to ask me questions. Main idea, want to make sure we're touching base. We have that communication, so that we can keep you learning effectively and not let you fall too far behind. Now, we do that. The primary way we're going to do that is on Wednesday. We have online classes. We're going to have those in real time. We're going to do that via Schoology conferences. And what I'm going to want you to do is I want you to come to your class schedule, look at the time for our physics class, come to a class at that day. There will be a conference set up, and we'll have our conference. And that Wednesdays, I'll go over any questions anybody might have. I'll do some sample problems. It's really just a good day to catch up and make sure we're aligned. If Wednesday doesn't work for you for some reason, the other alternative for getting participation points will be on Thursday. Thursdays, we'll do some lab videos, demonstration videos, but it'll also be office hour day. And that'll be a chance for you to either make arrangements with me individually, or we'll do things as a group to talk about more of what we've been learning that week. Those are the two primary ways to get participation points. Again, I know sometimes students might not be able to make either one of those. If you cannot, again, please beforehand let me know so we can work out some ways so the two of us can get together and get your participation points taken care of. All right. Next thing, I want to talk about Schoology. All the materials for our class can be found in Schoology, and I'll show you that here shortly. The biggest thing I want to point out right now is that the way we've got Schoology set up, you need to answer the weekly lecture questions on Monday and Tuesday. We need to get your participation points in. Those all have to be entered in before you can take the weekly quiz on Friday. So big thing here, we have some rules you got to follow, some precedents. You got to do this before this, before this. We want to make sure that you're keeping pace and they're not taking the quiz just without going over any of the notes or going over any lectures just to take the quiz. That's not good for you. It's not good for any of us. So we're just trying to make sure we're following a good process. For materials, it's highly recommended that you have a spiral notebook or a binder, something that you can keep notes in that we're taking during the year, something to write with, and okay, of course, a non-scientific calculator. I don't think we're going to do too much with tangents and cosines, and if we do, I can show you where you can find some of those on the web to help with that. Grades. So grades are going to consist of three things. They're going to be the lecture questions that we have. I'll explain those here in a little bit more in a moment. Weekly participation points I've been talking about, and then the weekly quizzes, and then the occasional unit test. Any assignment that you miss, right, at the end of the week, I'm going to put in a 0 for those, and that's not to penalize you. That's to make sure that you know, hey, this is something you need to get done. So it's kind of a reminder to you as well as me that here's an assignment we've got to work together to get that completed. Because I don't want you to get too far and fall behind. I don't want there to be any surprises if I don't put any grades in there and it comes near the end of the quarter and I start putting in zeros because you don't have something done. I want you to know right away where you're falling behind and how that might be impacting your grade. Academic integrity. I don't really want to talk too much about that, but typical school rules, policies apply. Do your own work. Don't cheat. It's not going to help you. And if you really have questions, talk with me. That's the best way to get it done. Because if I answer questions more directly with you, you're going to learn better too. Communication. Communication there's two primary ways we're going to do it. Schoology is going to be the main one. All of our materials are on Schoology. We're going to do conferences via Schoology. So that'll be the main way we will interact. Of course, email works very well too. So if there's something that you want to ask me and it can't be done through Schoology, send me an email. I have my email listed here at the bottom of the HT, and that would be a good way. Now, I also will have office hours on Thursday from 7:30 to 11 and 12 to 1:30. That's another great way to communicate with me. If neither of these times work or something goes on, again, please reach out to me via email and we can get that communication taken care of. All right. Philosophy. You have a right to learn. So does everybody else. So let's be polite and respectful of everybody. While you have those rights, I also have the responsibility to teach you and to make sure that nothing interferes with your rights to learn. And that, again, drives down to our third point here. Let's practice some mutual respect between us at all times. To succeed in physics, several ideas here that will help you do well. The first one is a positive attitude. If you think physics is hard, guess what? Physics is going to be hard. If you think physics will be fun and you're willing to keep an open mind and put in a little bit of effort, you're going to have a lot of fun doing this class. We're going to do some fun things. Have we been to class together? We would have been doing them together. I'm going to do several demonstrations and hopefully get creative, and I can help you do some labs with things you just have around the house for physics class. Positive attitude, very important. Staying organized is also very important because while Schoology will have our materials in a nice organized fashion, any notes you take, please make sure you keep those organized too. It'll help you when it comes time to study as well. Point 3, we're going to pay attention. Watching a lecture video, just watching it, if you're not paying attention to it, really listening to it, that's a very different thing. So I need you to really pay attention to the videos. If something doesn't make sense the first time, go back and watch that part of the video again. And if it still doesn't make sense, then I want you to reach out to me and we can have a conversation and try to get that cleared up. Okay. Need you to do all the work. I will give some assignments at times where I want you to do some work on some worksheets. If you think you've gotten a hold of it, kind of understood the process, understood that concept, just look at some of the remaining questions because they're not all going to be similar. Sometimes they'll have harder ones spread throughout. Just look and see if you know how to answer them before not doing the rest of them. I really want you to do work. I do not give busy work. It's not worth your time or my time to do something like that. Number 5, don't cram. You really don't want to wait till Thursday night to do some studying for one of the quizzes or the tests. Multiple reasons. It's hard to learn it that fast. And 2, if you do have a question, I'm not going to be available for you Thursday night to be able to answer those questions. So let's do it during the week and keep pace. And finally, number 6, extra help. If you need help, please reach out to me. Come to an office hour. Come on Thursday. Come to the Wednesday synchronous class, online classes, where we're going to have discussions and I'll do examples and we can go over some problems. And if those don't work again, email me. Please, please, please email me. I'll get back to you within a day on any questions you might have. Okay. So that is our syllabus. Let's go back over here into our Schoology. The next thing I want to talk about is our daily schedule. Now, before I go into that, actually, I want to talk about down here. If we look at the bell schedule here, our physics class, we're period 10, so 12:45 to 1:25. Anything we're doing that is synchronous, so like our Wednesdays and Thursdays, Wednesdays definitely rather, will be here. I want to have that holding during that period, our 10th period, 12:44 to 1:25. Thursdays, again, I'll have office hours and we can meet together then. But on Wednesdays, I definitely want you to come during period 10. All right, so let's talk more a little about the weekly schedule. So when we go through our weekly schedule, on Mondays and Tuesdays, we'll have lectures, and those will be videos. Because it's easier then for people who can't miss the class, I might just make a video of the classes on occasion that we do real time, but we'll cross that bridge as we get to it. At the end of the new content there's going to be a little, I don't want to call it a quiz as much as they are lecture questions. And the way to think about these, they're not meant to be hard. All they're meant to do is say, okay, did you retain anything from what we just learned? What's the charge of an electron, for example, right? Or the charge of a proton, something quick and simple, not asking you to do a lot of thinking here, just did you retain anything from the lecture? And we'll do that both on Mondays and Tuesdays. When you click on a folder on Monday or Tuesday, let's go into here. Right, we'll have a folder for each week. Here's an example week for week 1 in our Intro to Physics and Measurement unit. When you click into the folder, at the top, there's going to be a discussion for any questions. This is just a place, if you have a question on what we've been talking about Monday or Tuesday and you want to put it in here, the good thing about this is something everybody sees, right? So we can all work together to answer any questions. If you have something that you really don't want to post so everybody can see it, that's what email is for. But we can get some good dialogue going here in some of these question topics. Because if you have a question, chances are somebody else does too. Go ahead and ask that question. And then when I see it, I can answer it. And hopefully that'll help a lot of students as well. On Mondays, right? So Monday, when we click in here, there'll be a video and we'll go through that video. Sometimes I will hold live classes here. And I'll record the video for people who can't attend the live class. But when you're done with the video, there will be a little quiz here at the bottom. I call it a lecture question quiz. These are 3 points. What I'll have you do is click on there again, answer the 3 questions. You'll get your 6 lecture question points for the day. Now, Monday and Tuesday have the same structure. Right? Wednesday, there'll be a live class. I'm going to use Schoology conferences for this. I want you to click on, you'll click on the conferences over here in the left-hand column. You come out here, you'll see there'll be a conference out here set up for you. I'll usually have the day, Friday, 8/21, Wednesday, whatever that date is, the 26th, and you'll see that in here. Now, for me, once I start the conference, then you'll be able to click on the title of the conference and join in. On Thursdays, we'll have a video as well. This could be from a lab or a demo of a lab, something I want to do to reinforce some of the concepts we've learned that week. We'll also have office hours on Thursday. Here, I'll just have you click on the conferences in the left-hand tab. And again, if you have a question or want to join for that, you can do that. I will ask that once you join a conference, please connect with your microphone or something that you can speak with, and then say, hi, Dr. Yates, are you there? Because I may not be in front of my computer at that point in time, but I might be doing something else in the room. That'll just let me know I need to come over, and I'll just sit down and we can have a chat. When we're done with this, right, on Thursday, there is our participation points quiz. This is pretty simple. All I want you to do, you're going to click on here, and it's going to ask you 3 questions. How did you participate? How did you interact with me during the week? I just want you to pick one. Did you attend the Wednesday lecture? Did you attend the Thursday office hours? Or C, did you make some other arrangements with me to get your participation points? Then just by answering that, that'll log it in and it'll give you the participation points. Of course, I'm going to go back and double check your answers at some point to make sure it meets the logs. But this is a quick way for you to do it. I don't have to worry about grading it. You get some immediate feedback and you see what's going on. All right, so last part here. Fridays, we have quizzes. But before you get into the quiz, you're going to have to do your Monday. You're going to have to actually answer the lecture questions for Monday. You're going to have to actually answer the lecture questions for Tuesday, before and as well as the participation points quiz on Thursday. You need to have all those done before the Friday quiz will be even visible to you, right? That quiz will open on Friday, But if you haven't done those other 3 pieces from Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, you won't even be able to see that file. You won't even be able to get to the quiz. Right, so make sure you have done those first. All right. Let's go back up here. So I've gone through kind of a typical week and give you an idea of that. So next week I want to talk about, now that we're done with our weekly schedule, and I'll show you how to find content during the week. Let's see, what's next? Oh, yes. So if we go back to school, if we go back to the beginning of Schoology here, welcome to physics folder, underneath our daily schedule and the lunch and the bell schedule, you'll see my schedule. I teach classes several periods during the day. You guys are just my last class. So I won't be reachable at any times when I'm during these periods, because those are dedicated to my chemistry classes. And I do have a lunch duty, which will keep me out of the room. But if you want to reach out to me at another time during the day, during my prep period or my lunch period, I may be here to do stuff. Just let me know, and we can set up something we can possibly meet during those times as well. The last thing that's in our folder here is our Schoology Help. If you click in here, there are a couple helpful videos that were created by our tech people to help you work on Schoology, to answer some common questions in Schoology. All right. The last thing I want to talk about here then is, I kind of glossed over this at the beginning. You will not see this part here, this Friday 821 folder, until Friday. So when Friday comes along, I'll make this folder active, and you'll be able to see it, and you can click on it. And here, I want you to go into, again, go to conferences, click on the conference with today's date. Right, so that's what I want you to do tomorrow, so we can go over a little bit about what I talked about today, answer some other questions, get to know you a little bit, and I think we'll throw in a fun demo as well. And this will again be during our class time, 10th period on Friday. All right, so now I've talked with you about a ton of stuff, an absolute ton of stuff. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Send me an email, bring them to class tomorrow when we do our conference, Schoology conference. This is tough, right? This COVID stuff is making it tough. Doing this online learning is tough. But together we can get through here, and we can make it a successful year and a fun year for all of us. Thanks, everybody. Hi, everyone. I have a fun little demo here to do for you. This device is called a Newton's Cradle. Newton's Cradle. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these before, but they can be lots of fun, and they demonstrate several concepts of physics. This particular version has 6 steel balls. They're actually pretty heavy when I hold them up. And what you can do with these is, right, if you watch, if I pull one back and let it fall, you notice that it shoots one out the other side. So why pull one back, and it shoots each time a marble comes back, it kicks one out the other side. Now this one's getting a little bit old, so it starts to get funky after a while. So I have a question for you. What do you think is going to happen if we pull 2 of these back? I'll pause just for a second for you to think about that. Well, hopefully you gave the answer, or the answer occurred to you, that it would look like this. Notice that when I pull 2 back and let them fly in, they kick 2 out the other side. Okay. Well, now there are 6 of them here, so hopefully it makes enough sense then. Let's pull 3 back. What do you think is going to happen? Of course, it's going to kick 3 out the other side. Now we're going to get a little bit harder. What do you think is going to happen if we pull 4 of them back? How many people think that 2 of them, the other 2 will go shooting out? How many people think it'll be 3 shooting out? How many think it'll be 4 or 5 or 6? Again, if we pull back 4 and it hits, it's going to kick 4 out on the other side. Well, to figure all this out, it's a little bit counterintuitive, but there are 2 things I want you to be thinking about here, and we'll talk about this later on in the school year in physics. There's 2 conservations that are happening here. The first is conservation of momentum. Now we pull this marble back. When it hits, it's got a certain amount of momentum. That momentum has to be conserved, so it's going to kick something out with the same amount of momentum on the other side. Now, what's not obvious is why doesn't this marble come down and kick the other 5 out but because they're 5 times as much massive, maybe they only go 1/5 as fast, so their momentum is conserved, momentum being mass times velocity. Well, if we did that, yeah, our momentum might be conserved doing that, but here's the catch. Our energy is not conserved doing that. Our energy. So this kind of reaction, or most physical interactions, we need to conserve both momentum and energy. And this is an elastic reaction. I should be careful about that. In elastic collisions, we need to conserve both. That's why however many you see I pull back, that's what's going to shoot out the other side. All right. So we'll talk about that more later on in the year, but I just wanted to give you something fun to look at and think about. Maybe you've seen one of these before. If you haven't, then maybe you can find them in a novelty store. They are kind of fun and entertaining. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.